Karthikeya, good evening. Mehak, Vedanti. Okay, we get started. I hope you have revised the previous topics. You should have written some answers also. You want me to discuss any specific question or any specific topics, please let me know. All of you on the YouTube, you also, I hope you were present in the last discussion session and that you managed to write something, I presume. Am I audible to those on the YouTube? Yeah? Without doubt, to batao. Good evening. Kushi, I wanted a mechanism to evaluate my PYQs on regular basis. Kushi, any evaluation on regular basis is on the UKey. UKey platform is free for all of you. It's part of your course. The evaluation remarks of UKey मैं हर दिन check करता हूँ. I can assure you, it is one of the best you can think of. No evaluator, human, can give you that type of evaluation. तो आप एकदम बिंदास होकर यूज करो UKey को. And UKey comments are very, very specific. They're not random comments. They'll tell you exactly what type of content you will need, what you need to get better marks, where did you lose some marks. Okay, वो सब आपको से मिल जाएगा. And I'll encourage this, all of you. See, one problem I'm noticing across students is you write answers and you also take feedback. आप feedback लेने के बाद में उस answer में आप कुछ करते हो नहीं. Instead, you wrote the answer, you took some feedback, and then the feedback is lost. कायदे से आपको feedback लेकर और feedback के basis पे you must incorporate some changes. You should be wise enough to go back and do some corrections, wise enough to go back and add whatever you can to the content. Otherwise, कोई मतलब ही नहीं है. Otherwise, you are basically just writing mechanically without really doing any significant changes that's required. Okay, so I'll encourage all of you. Vishal says my voice is echoing. Is it for everybody or just Vishal? Yes, Abhishek, I can vouch for that. I know. The reason being is UKey has UPSC specific content in it. That's something, okay, most of the other LLMs will not have. LLMs otherwise have generic content. I write the added remarks on the answer, different pen. No, that's okay. That's Kushi. Abhi, I mean, that's your choice. In some cases, you can add remarks. Some cases, you can try to do a bit more of jotting. You need not write the full answer. That's okay. But at least be aware of what are the gaps and what you can do to improvise, what you can do to better the answer. Awareness होना चाहिए आपको. उतना कर perfectly fine. Unable to manage optional and GS. Abhishek, I think that's why we said you divide your preparation into 2 parts. 3 days geography, 3 days GS. Okay, and I know it's a challenge. That's why it's guided. We tell you specific, okay, kaun sa karna hai, kaun sa nahi karna hai. We do help you with that. Yes, Kokap Taslim, we have the new batch starting today. You're talking about MSP batches or are you talking about the regular geography optional? Okay, you want not showing on the, no, it should be there. You can have a look again. We have. So all of you, you're struggling with your जो भी GS and optional है, इसीलिए हम integrate करना चाह रहे हैं. Vedanti still not upgraded. Maybe you have not registered. But आप इतना दिन wait क्यों करते हो? Why can't you reach out to us, write a message to me? आप हर बार you wait for the session and then you let us know. Okay. It takes 24 hours to update it. once in a day होता है, okay, but only after you have registered. वत्सला, it's tricky. सेम डे में 50-50 नहीं कर सकते हो, वो बनता नहीं है कभी. ओके, अच्छा, अभिषेक, खुशी का यही प्रॉब्लम है. वत्सला, that's why I'm saying give one entire day to optional, give another entire day to GS. आधा आधा में you not have substantial progress. आधा आधा में you not have a substantial sense of completion. Yeah, you have got no other option. Vatsala, you cannot do more than this. Okay, so ये जो struggle है, it's everybody's struggle, and that's why I'm saying let your preparation be question specific. Let the preparation be specific to the answer that you are writing. You should not be talking about revising everything from A to Z. Okay, so in GS we are giving you 2 weeks per paper or 2 days per subject. Okay, 15 hours बैठना बैठो. There's no other way out. और क्या तरीका है बताओ? आपका August 21st को एग्जामिनेशन है. How much more time can you actually give? So all of you who have joined me for the first time today, so you are part of the running batch. Whatever you have missed earlier, अभी तक हम लोगों ने, we have spent 2 weeks on sectional first sectional test, and we are doing this the fourth week कर रहे हैं. एक third week हमारा शुरू हो रहा है ये वाला. Okay, आगे जाके. So you have missed out the discussions and practice on geomorphology, India physical and resources. ये 2 वीक को हम एंड में ऐड कर देंगे. So आप सबका classes will run concurrent. Okay, all the batches, whether you have joined earlier or now, you'll run concurrently. But जो 2 वीक आपने मिस किया, you have missed 2 weeks. I repeat, 2 classes of geomorphology, 2 days for India physical and 2 days for India resources. ये जो 2 वीक है, एंड में हम दोबारा ऐड कर देंगे. हाँ, yes, Vatsala. But Vatsala, you know, the amount of optional is very deep. Optional, you have to know concepts. Optional, you have to know, the detail of answer writing. So even if it's just 2 papers, okay, it is a substantial one. It's a substantial amount. Can we cover only what we missed? Yes, you can. You can do that, Purna Chandra. You can do that. But उसमें वही है कि your current work might suffer because with too much of work. Current work भी कर रहे हो, पहले का recording भी कर रहे हो. There's too much of work you will miss out to manage. Paper 2, I don't have proper foundation. Kushi, stick with that class again. Whatever questions I'm giving you in the class, stick with that. Whatever answer writing we do in the class, right now sessions and your test series, utna hi karo. So if your foundation is weak, Kushi, this is not the time to go back and study the entire foundation. So you are basically managing. But yahi to problem hai, I have been talking about always, that when you enter the prelim cycle, it's a criminal waste of opportunity अगर आप मेंस रेडी नहीं हो तो. Okay, but ठीक है, जो है सो है. You live with it. Nothing much you can do at this stage. Don't get stressed out. जितना कर पाते हो करो. So all the new students, welcome again. This week, we had the first class on Sunday evening, where I discussed geographical thought. So if you all can see my screen. Can you all see my screen, all of you? Yeah. Those on the YouTube. By the way, YouTube guys, this will be the last session I will have on the YouTube for MSP. अभी तक idea यही था कि with the videos on YouTube, you probably will get motivated to start practicing and start the process of answer writing. बट आई थिंक आप लोग थोड़ा सा ढीठ हो, नो मैटर व्हाट, आप अपना ही तरीका है करने का. So today is the last class you'll have on YouTube for MSP. Those who are preparing for 26 mains is साल का, you must join the course from henceforth. Okay, ठीक है, then stick with this, Kushi. Once this is over, you can get back and re-revise. Okay, so I'll suggest you should do both, Kushi. इस मारपीट में कर लो, अच्छा खासा कवर हो जाएगा. Okay, watch all of you. So we had week one. Week one we had Tuesday, we had Thursday, and we had Friday. Week one में we covered geomorphology, we covered geomorphology, we covered India physical. Then we had week two. Okay, again we did India physical, we did resources, and we did resources. Now we are in week three. Okay, we did geographical thought. और आज है Wednesday evening. We again will have geographical thought. The next class, कल के लिए we will have models and theories. So what we are doing is, Thursday is the optional day, but Wednesday evening में, okay, like today, right now, at 7 p.m., I'm discussing 4, 5, 6 questions, which tomorrow morning you will write at 7 a.m. I'll request all of you 7 a.m. में बैठो मेरे साथ और 10 आंसर लिखो. वैसे ही tomorrow I will discuss models and theories, and then on Friday morning 7 a.m. again you will write live answer session में 10 answers. Then we have week 4. Week 4 will continue with models and theories and some topics of RDP, some topics of RDP. So those who have joined me from today, ये जो आपका topic missed है, these topics I will come back and cover later on. ठीक है? Does the program make sense to all of you? What we are trying to do? I'm trying to give you 2 days for most of these topics and 1 hour of discussion, and then so आपका काम, what will be your job? Your responsibility will be number 1, जो practice questions हैं, the practice questions, sometimes 10, sometimes 12, sometimes 15. You must study this, you must memorize this, and you must write this. Then number 2, you must revise. Revise your notes, revise from revision videos. Okay. Number 3, you must look up PYQs. You must again revise PYQs. You must look up the PYQ videos, and also write the PYQ priority 1 wale questions. So PYQs I have divided into priority 1 questions. Okay, we will have priority 2 questions and we have priority 3 questions. This is must write. ये जो priority 1 questions है, I'm expecting that this you must prepare for the examination. Yes, Vishal, it's all there. It's all there on the portal. You can, but I'm cautioning you. You're trying to do the previous videos में, don't mess up your current work. आप पहले वाला काम करने के चक्कर में आप अभी वाला काम खराब कर दोगे. Okay, so just be aware of that. बाकी आपकी choice है. You see how you want to do. If I was in your place, I would not bother. I would do the current work और पहले का काम बाद में देखते. Okay, but then that's your choice. ठीक है? ये 3 आपका responsibility है. The practice questions you must write with me at 7 a.m. in the morning. Okay, so let's get started now. Okay, so we are doing geographical thought. Okay, आज का day जो है, it is the date for geographical thought. Okay, we had 2 classes. We had geographical thought 1. We had on Sunday evening, and geographical thought 2 आज जो कर रहे हैं Wednesday evening. All the old students, please be patient because बहुत बच्चों ने अभी recently join किया है. Okay, so I must just tell them about what we are doing. Some topics have last year's questions also as priority, yes. Okay, because those topics are always possible they can ask you. Okay, so ऐसा नहीं है कि that topic will not be asked. They do tend to repeat questions on regions. They tend to repeat questions related to drift theory. They tend to read questions on water. हर साल आता है. Okay, on cropping pattern they can ask every year. Okay, so even if some topics have been asked, उसको छोड़ो नहीं. If you look at the analysis of last 15 years, 20 years, some topics they kind of ask recurrently. That's why I'm saying those topics आप करो. Okay, so on the Sunday evening, the topics we covered the areal differentiation, we covered the concept of regions, and we covered dualisms. Today we are doing QR and later. Whatever happened in the QR phase and whatever we have seen in geography in the later part. Okay, all of you, I hope this part is clear. We can start off now. So now, हम questions बाद में देखेंगे. I want to teach a concept to all of you. You prepare synoptic notes for paper 1, but not for paper 2. Should I? एकदम खुशी. Okay, दोबारा सुनो. अभी synopsis पर परेशान मत हो. अभी क्लास के साथ रहो. Whatever questions I'm giving you, whatever topics I am giving you, उतना ही करो. Let the course get over. MSP के बाद में go back and do synopsis जो नहीं किया है. होता क्या है ना, in the name of synopsis writing revision, you never write answers. You keep on postponing the answers. ठीक है? You stick with the class right now. जो नहीं किया कोई बात नहीं. अभी आप क्लास साथ रहो. Okay, let's get started now. I'm teaching this topic before I enter the questions. I'm discussing space is a social construct. Okay, I'm discussing something. Space is a social construct. When will the session 1 topics end में प्रियदर्शनी? अभी नहीं. जो छूट गया. अब आगे बढ़ो. You guys have missed out on. I mean, I've been literally howling last 15 days में. Don't waste time. Start preparation. Don't waste time. Start preparation. अब छूट गया. अब आप मेरे साथ रहो. वो end में, when the course gets over, for everybody, I'll give you 1 or 2 days extra. We'll finish off. ठीक है? Okay, please get back now. Please get back. I'm discussing a concept called as space is a social construct. Now, what do you mean by this? Okay. Now, see, the original, or you can say the traditional idea, traditional idea was that space is a neutral concept. This was the idea which was prevalent for much of our geographical history, for much of our political history, studying of Earth. Space is a neutral concept. क्या मतलब क्या है इसका? वैसे neutral concept है. Space is all about geometry. It's about distances. It's about locations. It's about their coordinates. इस टाइप का जो स्टडी है, स्पेस एज ज्योमेट्री. थिंक ऑफ CPT model. Okay, think of von Thunen's model. Okay, think of you're talking about model linked to say continental drift, models linked to anything around where we're discussing latitudes, we're discussing longitudes. जो जगह है, any place that we have, okay, it is not biased. Okay, ये जो concept है, space is very objective. Okay, space has no biases. Okay, and that everything has a pattern in terms of locations. So space is geometry. Okay. Second, space has no behavioral element. Okay. The old idea was, yes, Weber's idea also correct. Weber's idea also, okay, that space has no behavioral bias. Weber bhi add kar do. Yes. Talk about Weber's idea also. It's all about distance, locations. कौन कितना दूर रहता है, that's all. Okay. So your geography का location like geometry. Then I'm saying space has no behavioral bias. मतलब every place has economic man. Every place has a rational man. This type of जहाँ पर कि there is no behavioral bias, there is no concept of race, there is no concept of gender, there is no concept of ethnicity. Okay, space is neutral because all human agent act in the same way. समझ में आ रहा है? हाँ, labor availability है ना खुशी. It's not about whether the labor is men or women. It's not about whether the labor is racial, black or white. It's not about whether the labor is old or poor. आपने labor सबको skilled labor मान के आपने fix कर दिया. उसमें कोई bias है ही नहीं. Okay, and if you look at the concept of isotropic surface में, again, every place is same type of climate, same type of physical conditions, same type of landforms, same type of rocks. Okay, labor, yes, it's an economic decision, perfect. So ये idea में हम बोल रहे हैं space neutral है. अच्छा, so space is neutral in terms of geometry. Okay, the best example of space neutral in terms of geometry is isotropic surface. It's all about distance alone. Space is a mathematical concept. यहाँ पर जो है space is a mathematical concept. That's all. Okay, तो इसमें कोई bias नहीं है. Whether you are there or I am there, for everybody the distance is the same. You take the car, I take the car, the time taken for travel is same. Whether you are working or I am working, हमारा labor output same होने वाला है. Okay. Now, because of all this, I'm saying that the space was also politically neutral. It was also politically neutral. Okay. What it means is that location was not linked to struggles, was not linked to exploitation, was not linked to rights. Okay, location was not linked to choices. Okay, it was not linked. Is समझ में आ रहा है? What I mean by space is neutral? Space is neutral geometrically. Space is neutral behaviorally. Space is neutral in terms of political neutrality. The choices we make doesn't matter where I live. Okay, doesn't matter where I'm working. Okay, everybody is same. Okay, there is no distinction. There is no variations. This is what I mean by space is a neutral concept. Any questions here? देखो geography में ना space बहुत important idea है. You can't miss this concept. Okay. But now we are saying under radical geography, and under a humanistic approach, under postmodern geography, we are saying space जो है, space is a social construct. Space is a social construct. Space has an element of socio-political element. Space has an element of socio-political element. Okay. What I'm saying here is that traditionally, space was like a geometrical box which had dimensions, which had boundaries. The boundary was more of a mathematical boundary, where space का मतलब होता है coordinates. So space was like a geometrical box. Geometrical box में कोई biases नहीं है. Now we are saying, when I say space is socio-political construct or elements हैं, इसका मतलब ये होता है space reflects power and class. Okay, it's about who you are in terms of your class identity: rich man, a poor man, a labor class, an industrialist. Okay, so that's an example of what I mean by space reflects power. Okay, there is class zonation of cities. Okay, there is a space differentiation on the basis of castes, on the basis of communal identity, on the basis of ethnicity. Okay, there is a location. Location reflects caste identity or class identity. तो ऐसे में क्या है, स्पेस अब न्यूट्रल नहीं रहा. Yes, exactly. Ghettoization is very important. Okay, the way we design, the way we design cities. Okay, the whole concept of a rich class dwellings, poor class dwellings. There is ghettoization. There are slums. Okay, there are unauthorized colonies. Okay, so space is no longer neutral. Space reflects power and class. Okay, this power and class दिखाई देता है urban morphology में. Okay, power and class दिखाई देता है the way cities are designed, the way the cities are planned. Okay, so these are not natural geographical formations आपने बनाया है. Okay, a location reflects class identity. A rich man, the whole concept of जो gated community है, I hope you understand that. The whole concept of gated community. So not everybody is allowed in that area. So space reflects power. Now, space also shapes behavior. Space shapes behavior. आप कहाँ रहते हो, आपका rules अलग है. Yes, absolutely correct, Khushi, correct. This example of space reflects power and class. Space reflects development achievements. Okay, and I'm saying space shapes behavior. What do you mean by shapes behavior? That rules and regulations depends on okay, where one lives. Think of people living in Lutyens, Delhi. Okay. Think of people living in certain type of coveted and highly surveillance वाले locations. Okay, there is a hierarchy in choices based on who lives where. इसका ये सिर्फ सिटी के लेवल पे नहीं है, it also operates as a household level. ये आप समझते हो ना that घरों में there's a master bedroom. The master bedroom is where the owner or the most powerful patriarch lives. जैसे आपका जो टेबल होता है ना, टेबल खाने वाला टेबल में, okay, the more powerful person of family, he sits at the most important table. Okay, और think of courtrooms, जो जज होता है वो जज एक elevated जगह में बैठता है. Okay, and according to where he sits, उसका behavior changes. Okay, so space shapes behavior, and I'm saying space also reflects power in class. Make sense, all of you? Make sense, all of you? So if you look at these concepts here, okay, there was this man, Faber, okay, Lee Faber. According to Lee Faber. Lee Faber is the man who coined the word possibilism. Okay, Henry Lee Faber. He said, space ka, there are three aspects. There are three aspects of space. There is a perceived space, where we navigate, okay, physically. Okay, the space where we move through distances. Okay, there is a perceived space, जिसमें हम physically we move, we are commuting, we are traveling. Okay, that is the space that we are navigating physically. It's more about distance, it's more about travel. Okay, our perceived space, ये spatial perspective है. और एक है what he called as conceived space. Conceived space is the planned space. और generally planned जो होता है is planned by the governments. It's planned by people who are in authority. It's planned by people who are more powerful. Okay, जो conceived space होता है, this is about power. It's about authority. The perceived space is where we navigate physically. Conceived space is that which reflects power, that reflects control. Okay, because accordingly आप plan करोगे. And a third aspect of space is what's called as lived space. The lived space, okay, where we live through our imagination. Okay, a space that we transform, according to our creativity. It is a space of socialization. So जगह जो है, the space is not a neutral concept. Guys, am I able to explain the concept to all of you? What I mean by space is not a neutral concept. That space is a social construct. What do I mean by that? Yeah. So if I look at this, so location, places, example, lived space. Think of your places like museums, you have converted an area according to your creativity. Design कर दिया आपने. Conceived space is a planned space, और plan हो रहा है according to some authority. The urban planning जो है वो conceived space है, उसमें आपका रोल कुछ नहीं है. Okay, if I simplify this, perceived space is where we operate, but we have no control. Conceived space, okay, is where the powerful have the control. And lived space is the more personal and the creative space. So मैंने अपने घर को पेंट करके अपने गार्डन बनाकर मेरे अपने घर में I have done some beautification and I'm living in my own dream world. That's my lived space. The space where I meet my friends, the space where I socialize. Lived space is where I socialize, I meet my friends, I interact with artists. It's more of the creative thing. नहीं, perceived space भी neutral नहीं है, because perceived space में भी okay, आप जब जा रहे हो, the distance you travel okay is controlled by certain type of means of communication. Okay, neutral जब भी होगा okay when there are no biases. Okay, anybody who travels will travel the same way. But if I'm using a metro, okay, or train, say I'm using a first class seat and somebody else is traveling economy class. So both are part of perceived space, both are navigating, but it is not in neutral space. Yes, Vatsala. Okay, one that we create, we control, okay, is my lived space. जहाँ पर मेरा creativity आ रहा है, जहाँ पर मेरा socialization आ रहा है, which I can transform, is called as the lived space. ठीक है? The lived space में मेरा maximum control है. Make sense here? I wanted one page on space is not a neutral concept. Okay, space okay has a social construct. They say, think of this. Women. Where do women live? Where do women work? Where do women find a safety? Where do women find a safety? अब जब भी where पूछ रहे हैं, you understand where का मतलब है place? Where is place? But where women live, their homes. Where women live, probably they work in the kitchens. Where women find safety, probably in company of their friends or family. तो ये जो home है, ये kitchen है, ये friend and family है, it is not a neutral concept. Okay, a home is a social concept. The place of a woman is in her house. Okay, the role of a woman is in the kitchen. A woman can't go here, a woman can go there. A woman is not safe here, a woman can travel there. The इस type का जो space है, this space is not neutral. This space does have biases. Okay, तो अगर आप gender problems के बारे में बात कर रहे हो, you bring in this element of how space decides okay, women's status. The place that women live in, the type of land they can buy, okay, the type of ownership that they can have, okay, the place where the women work, वो जगह जो है, वो neutral नहीं है. It has biases, it has preconceived notions, it is designed by somebody who is powerful. Make sense, all of you? The forest is not any place. The forest is a social construct. फॉरेस्ट में कौन रहता है, फॉरेस्ट का क्या राइट्स हैं, फॉरेस्ट में किसकी अट्रॉसिटीज होगी, फॉरेस्ट में कौन डिस्प्लेस हो जाएगा, फॉरेस्ट का रिसोर्सेस कौन यूज करेगा. दैट्स ए सोशल कंसेप्ट. या काइंड ऑफ खुशी, बहुत बार ये लिफ्ट स्पेस आल्सो इज नॉट अ मैटर ऑफ चॉइस समटाइम्स. बट ठीक, यू हैव एन आइडिया नाउ. You all have a concept now. What is space and what is the concept of space as a social construct? Did you all manage to write down some notes? Did you all manage to note down something? All of you? Yeah. So देखो आपके पास model answers हैं, and I repeat, the model answers are not all elevated. Deliberately कुछ हद तक उसको हमने lesser level पर रखा है. If I elevate the concept model answers में आप पकड़ नहीं पाओगे. ठीक है. So ये जो पढ़ा रहे concept, try to use those in your answers. कहीं से डाल can, अगर ये समझ में आ गया ना, you can use this in God knows what all answers. Yes, I'll come to that, Manan. ये मैं क्यों पढ़ा रहा हूं, मैं आपको दिखाऊंगा क्वेश्चन कैसा फ्रेम्ड है. और I mean, you don't have to go so dramatic either. You just have to know some words. So आप एक पैराग्राफ लिखो, all of you. Write one paragraph, please. Write one paragraph. Okay. Space is not any location. Space is not any location. And space is not a neutral ideology. Space is not any location, and space is not any neutral ideology. Space is often weaponized. Space is often weaponized, and space reinforces social hierarchies. Space is often weaponized, and space is often reinforced as social hierarchies. Space is not static. Space is not static. Space is dynamic. Space is dynamic. When a society changes, and there are changes in economic structure, when a society changes and there are changes in economic structure, social norms, regulations can reconstruct physical space. And it can change the power dynamics in a society. It can change power dynamics in a society. Therefore, physical space does not exist in. Therefore, physical space does not exist in neutrality and vacuum. It does not exist in neutrality and in vacuum. Space is continuously interpreted. Space is continuously interpreted, shaped. It is continuously interpreted. It is continuously shaped. It reflects power dynamics. It reflects power dynamics and social hierarchies. Next, traditional quantitative revolution models. Guys, are you all writing as I speak? Are you all writing as I speak? लिख पा रहे हो? Are you able to keep pace with me? Good, nice. Okay, write down now. Write down. Traditional quantitative revolution techniques. Techniques refer to space in the objective geometric and value-free container. Space as an objective, space as a geometric, and space as a value-free container. क्या मतलब होता है value-free container? Okay, space is not linked to emotions. Space is not linked to preferences. Space is not linked to identity. Okay, space is not linked to value systems. We call this as value-free container. Space के साथ में space is not linked to emotions. Space is not linked to preferences. Okay, and space is not linked to values, cultures. Okay, it's not linked to traditions. Okay, the best example of space as neutral, are all models and theories. That assume isotropic surfaces. That is a space with no biases, a space with no history. Space with no biases, space with no history. And space with no history. Is it okay, all of you? अब ये चीज ना आप अच्छे से याद कर लेना. Make sure that you have studied this, that you have practiced this well, that you have internalized this very well. बहुत strong way में आपने prepare कर रखा है. Then we can talk about many more things here. ठीक है, पूछो. कोई डाउट पूछना है तो बताओ. And to ask any question on this, then I can show you कि कैसे आपके discussion में I can include. ठीक है. Okay, now let's go back to the questions asked. Okay. बेटा ऐसे मत पूछो. 2 lines repeat. Anurag, I am not reading from any book. I just gave you a set of points. Can somebody help him, please? What are the starting 2 lines? बड़ा खतरनाक क्वेश्चन पूछ दिया आपने मुझे. What are the starting 2 lines? Yeah, please, can somebody help him? Space often weaponized. Okay. Space is not any location. Space is not any neutral ideology. Okay. Yes, space is weaponized as a part of power dynamics. Library में disturbance ऐसा क्यों? There. Khushi Agarwal has written the point. Okay, now let's take up the question. I'm taking question number 4. Discuss how feminist geography, okay, can be relevant in addressing gender disparities. Discuss how feminist geography can be relevant in addressing gender disparities. Okay, I'm discussing this question. You please keep, okay, how feminist geography can help address gender disparities. Okay, so point number one, you please keep writing this down. Okay, gender disparities, okay, are often studied in terms of manifestation of inequalities. हम जब पढ़ते हैं, जेंडर पढ़ते हैं या जेंडर प्रॉब्लम पढ़ते हैं, हम कैसे पढ़ते हैं? Is often studied में कैसा, जैसे women are poor, जैसे feminization of poverty, जैसे women and health issues, जैसे women and problems of drinking water, so women and unemployment, women and atrocities, including violence. तो हम जब भी जेंडर प्रॉब्लम्स पढ़ते हैं या जेंडर डिस्पैरिटीज पढ़ते हैं, डिस्पैरिटीज और जेंडर प्रॉब्लम्स, वी स्टडी इन टर्म्स ऑफ हमें दिखता कैसे है, हमें दिखता क्या है, हमें दिखता है that women are more poor. The feminization of power, there is a feminization of rural agriculture. More and more women are part of farming. We study women have health problems. We study in terms of lowering a sex ratio. Okay. But what we're saying is that the gender disparities and gender problems, okay, का जो रूट है और the fundamental issues जो हैं, they are linked to how the society is divided and women are considered the lesser of the species. ये fact है. Okay, that when you study gender problems, you study in terms of कि women का problem क्या है, problem ये है. But fact है, ये जो problems जो भी हैं, इसके roots कहाँ हैं, इसका fundamental roots कहाँ हैं? The fundamental roots are in how the society is divided. इसी को हम बोलते हैं ना that the society by nature is patriarchal. Society by nature, okay, is considering women as the lesser of the species. Okay, and ये जो problem है, this problem is partly because of, okay, disparities, partly because of dynamics of women and space. Okay, ये problem partly because of women and space. जैसे gender problems of slums, gender problems of hill areas, gender problems of dry regions, gender problems of forest tribes, ये unique problems हैं. हमारा क्वेश्चन क्या था? हमारा क्वेश्चन था, tell us how can feminist geography help us address gender disparity. ये क्वेश्चन था हमारा कि अगर feminist geography है तो जेंडर प्रॉब्लम कैसे एड्रेस करेगा? I'm saying you can address because feminist geography, okay, sees disparity in terms of dynamics of women and space. ये important first point है that there is a spatial dimension to women problems. A woman living in slums, uske jo problems hain, is not same as women who lives probably in some hill regions. Is not same as a woman who lives in a dry region. Is not same as a woman who lives in a rural area and works in a farm. So there is a woman and space ka difference. In fact, you can add here, most of the patriarchal values, are because of rules, norms that restrict women access to space. जो patriarchal values हैं वो कैसे establish होते हैं? They are more powerful. They get established because the rules and norms, they restrict women's access to space. Can you give me examples of where women have been restricted in space and that results in atrocities? बता सकते हो मुझे example? Can you explain this? How women have been restricted in space and that has resulted in inequalities. ये restriction के examples क्या हैं? Talk in terms of space. Yes, the women do not have access to education centers. Women do not have access to land ownerships. Correct. Women don't have the access to travel and work. You're restricting a woman and space. Correct. Absolutely. Okay. ये एक second point है. A third point is women disparities. Yeah, correct. Excellent, Kushi. Excellent. Women disparity, is also because of disparity बोल लो या women atrocities बोल लो. Is because of spatial variations in resources and the roles assigned to women. हमें पूछ रहे हैं कि भाई फेमिनिस्ट ज्योग्राफी में अगर आपका रुचि है या आपका इंसाइट्स हैं, they can help us understand women problems. कैसे? When I said is, you can understand women's problem better if you understand the problems of women are different in different places. You can understand better when you appreciate that a lot of problems are because the women are restricted to access space. A third is lot of the problems because there are spatial variations in resources and roles assigned to women. इसका example दे सकते हो आप? Can you give an example of this? Example of this दे सकते हो आप? The example is yes, water. Perfect. Water problems. Firewood problems. So women have to travel, to an area which has water. Women have to walk the distance to collect firewood. So another example, to understand women issues, we must understand. So can you see this? ये discussion जो बताया मैंने, अभी discuss किया था मैंने. This shows how space is a social construct and how space becomes an element of women disparities and women atrocities. अभी डिस्कस कर रहे थे हम लोग. The space is a social construct. Space becomes an element. It becomes a tool in power politics. Yes, very nice. So when you confine women, women confined to homes and the unpaid work, unpaid work. Perfect. Can you see geography in your answers now, all of you? And how I'm linking with current affairs? How am I linking with, okay, non-geography, जो otherwise हो जाता आपके आंसर? वो अखबार दे दें, कौन सी? तो पानी ले आओ. Is this approach making sense to all of you? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Women in Afghanistan, perfect. Okay. Women in tribal areas, women in any patriarchal system. Okay. Women in northern India utha lo. The difference between women of northern India and women of southern India. You don't have to go beyond this for that matter. अच्छा, एक और चीज. Okay. A fourth aspect. Women atrocities, women disparities or women atrocities जो हैं, to appreciate this, okay, and there is lot of contributions of radical geography. Okay. So it says that women problems are the consequence of capitalist system. The consequence of capitalist system. Capitalist system का एक बहुत important criteria है, a very important element of capitalism is division of labor and efficiency and maximization of profits. You know what I appreciate this part? The capitalism का एक बहुत important element है the division of labor, how the work is divided, how there is specialization. And in this specialization, a very important objective is efficiency and maximization of profits. यही division of labor का एक element है. Okay. One aspect of division of labor is the gender defined roles. The gender defined roles. So women is at home, women for children, women as caregiver, okay, and men are, for working factories. Men are part of economic growth. Okay, इसी जो division of labor में है, spatial sense में, okay, this part, women caregiver homes जो है, this it was symbolic of suburbs, and men work was symbolic for the CBDs. जब आपको typical suburb के बारे में बताते हैं, suburb is where people live, CBD is where people work. suburb में आपका imagination कैसा है? घर है, एक विला है, बच्चे खेल रहे हैं, leisure time है, garden है. Okay, a man is coming from work and he is going to home, suburban villa में. Imagination है ना? Suburbs का कैसे होता है? City is bustling with activity. City has lot of factories. City has retail shops, economic profits. Okay, ये division of labor है ना? ये division of labor spatial division में भी दिखता है. It is visible in the spatial division also. The suburbs and the countrysides, they represents, okay, the women-based roles, whereas the CBD, the city center, represents the men-based roles. The division of labor hai, and the specialization and how the space gets organized is also a part of understanding women problems. Make sense, all of you? So there are two lines. Understanding women disparities and women atrocities. Understanding women disparities and women atrocities. As a part of feminist geography. Is the outcome of radical geography. And structuralism in geography. मनन उसके बाद जो अप्लाई करना है करो, ये कोर जो कंसेप्ट वो समझ लो पहले. Okay, so understanding this disparity is part of radical geography, feminist geography, जो part of radical geography था, and part of structuralism in geography. Okay. Women inequalities are seen directly the consequence of capitalism. Are seen as directly the consequence of capitalism, division of labor, and roles defined according to gender. There is a spatial manifestation. Of gender roles. In urban morphology too. Such as the division of labor. And the place identity. The division of labor and place identity between the suburbs and the city centers / CBD. Between the suburbs and the city center / the CBD. There is a feminization of suburbs. And there is a masculine element of city centers. There's a masculine element of city centers. Modern urban planning must acknowledge this division. It must acknowledge this division. For a more gender inclusive development. Okay? How does feminist geography help us understand women disparities? देखो ये आइडियाज को 2-3 बार पढ़ो, समझो और अप्लाई करो. Question will never be asked straight like this, but this gives you insights about how you can tackle the question. तो ये क्वेश्चन देखो अब. you think poverty can be eliminated by market mechanisms as the primary regulator of land use? Do you think poverty can be eliminated by market mechanisms as primary regulator of land use? Do you think poverty can be eliminated by market mechanisms as the regulator of land use? ये क्वेश्चन समझ में आ रहा है कि land use means what? Land use means, okay, what type of crops are grown. Land use का मतलब होता है प्लानिंग की बात कर रहे हैं. लैंड यूज का मतलब होता है इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर. लैंड यूज also partly means, okay, ownership of land. Okay, so if I want to remove poverty, if I want to remove, okay, the inequalities, I must change the type of crops grown. Okay, crops grown should not be, non-profitable crops. Okay, if I want to remove poverty, I need to have infrastructure, roads बनाओ, railways बनाओ. अगर मुझे poverty करना है तो ownership पे at the who owns the land. Okay, so इतना पता आ रहा है, समझ में आ रहा है कि poverty जो है it depends on land use. अब क्वेश्चन है कि ये land use who regulates this? Okay, so if I say the land use is regulated by market mechanism, अगर हम ये कह देते हैं कि land use is regulated by market mechanism, then can that remove poverty or not? Question समझ में आया? By the way, the statement was of David Harvey. You check your Dikshit textbook under radical geography, जहां पर डेविड हार्वी के बारे में बात हुई है, वहां पर ये सेंटेंस अंडरलाइन कराया मैंने. In fact, I have the book with me. If you have this book with you, Geographical Thought Dikshit का, this radical geography का जो चैप्टर है, there is this chapter on radical geography, page number 160, 180, sorry, page 180. And this is chapter number Call for Social Relevance, chapter number 7. If you all have this Dikshit textbook with you, I hope you all can see this textbook. ठीक है, ये जो किताब है, it is blurred. इसके page 180 में देखना, there is a second paragraph in middle में. Harvey was convinced that the problem could be effectively attacked only at the source. That is by eliminating the market mechanism as the primary regulator of land use. He pleaded that geographers should adopt a revolutionary perspective, thoroughly grounded in the phenomena that the researcher may seek to investigate. Okay. Marxian theory provided the key to understanding the capitalist production from the position of those not in the control of means of production. He maintained that through the Marxian theory, the researcher is made aware of the roots of the present social system and the mechanisms through which social inequalities are created and perpetuated. कि पेज 180 पेज 181 में लिखा गया है. Okay, so our first discussion is, what do I mean by land use? Land use is who owns the land. Land use is what type of crops are grown. Land use is the zonation and the planning that we can do. Land use is about construction of infrastructure. Okay. Now, if I say the land use hai, it is controlled by market mechanism. Market mechanism का एक important consideration है. The market mechanism is always profit oriented. Now, this profit oriented is rather important. It is a profit motive. In the profit motive, the idea will be, okay, cost efficiency. The idea will be scale of operations. Okay, yes. Agar market mechanisms are largely, I'll say, insensitive of social objectives. तो अगर आपका कॉस्ट एफिशिएंसी फोकस है, अगर आपका स्केल ऑफ ऑपरेशन फोकस है, and that you are insensitive to social objectives, okay, these systems will be exploitative. These systems will ignore locations, they will ignore people, they will ignore economy that is not profitable. Market mechanisms will always be exploitative. Market mechanisms will ignore locations, ignore people, and economy जो profitable नहीं है. Okay. Market mechanisms will always work in lowering costs. Lowering costs in terms of lowering wages. They always work in lowering labor dependency. Okay. So therefore, you cannot use market mechanisms to remove poverty. So if you look at the world's colonial history, this was market mechanism. If you look at present urbanization and location, ये भी market mechanism है. If you look at agriculture, crops, खासकर commercializations and monoculture, ये भी market mechanisms हैं. The colonial history is market mechanism. The urbanization and urban planning, वो भी market mechanisms हैं. Agriculture commercialization, खासकर monoculture, is also market mechanisms. So under these systems, yes, correct, very nice, Manan. Market mechanisms are actually responsible for increasing cost of living. Correct. It's consumerism, no? It's consumerism. अब इतना बोलने के बाद में, you again shift towards how market mechanisms use the space as tools, okay, for perpetuating power and hierarchy. मैंने पहले पढ़ा है ना, तो दोबारा यहां यूज कर दो. Market mechanisms use space as a tool for perpetuating or for effecting power and hierarchy. So gated communities, again, suburban development, they are based on, okay, social hierarchies. Space as social construct यहां भी यूज हो जाएगा. अगर कोई क्वेश्चन, लिसन, आप कैसे यूज करोगे इसको, कोई भी क्वेश्चन आएगा on poverty issues, inequality issues, any question on land inequalities, any question linked to water, उसमें भी ये डाल देना. Put this. A market mechanism based agriculture is a problem. Market mechanism based water use is a problem. Market mechanism based urban planning is a problem. It can't solve poverty. It cannot solve the inequalities. Okay. Those traditional concepts of planning hai, which are space as the perpetuator of inequalities, that must be addressed. ये आइडिया पकड़ में आ रहा है कि नहीं, ऑल ऑफ यू? ये आइडिया पकड़ में आ रहा है, आप इसे यूज कर लेना, जहां यूज करना है करो. Did you note down all the points? Did you note down all the points? ओके. अनुराग, एक और क्वेश्चन देखते हैं. This is, I think, a straight question. Radicalism grew as a criticism of quantification, positivism, and okay, I think ये आप कर लोगे. देखो, question number 1. Okay, what are the approaches to behavioral geography? You talk about behavioral geography and humanistic geography. आपको वही लिखना है. Okay. What is geosophy and how it became the foundation of humanization? ये भी आपके notes में है. I hope you all know what geosophy is. The history, geography through the eyes of individual. Every geography is different. It is in the mind, perception. Okay. I hope you know what geosophy is. I'm saying question number 1 जो है, approaches to behavioral geography, अगर पूछेगा question, what are the approaches to behavioral geography? इसमें आप behavioral geography के बारे में लिखना, इसमें humanistic geography के बारे में भी लिखना, and behavioral geography में approach है your idea of okay, man has bounded rationality. Man is not a maximizer. Okay. That man operates through cognition and perception. Aryan, you can. I mean, I'll not say no. Aryajan, can you write in favor of market mechanism? Yes, you can. But that's why we need to talk about welfare geography. It's a good question. Aryajan ने पूछा है कि तो क्या market mechanism पूरा ही गलत है? The answer is no, it's not. Okay, if it has regulations of that socialist wala elements, okay, where there is affirmative action, where you're creating jobs for the poor people, you have social security systems. Okay, so market mechanism with the human face, market mechanism with the social element. So yes, you're right, Arijan. हम पूरा का पूरा market mechanism dismiss नहीं करेंगे. Just say welfare geography. Welfare geography is market mechanism moderated through social policies. Yeah, mixed economy. Correct. Yes. So approaches to behavioral geography में सब आ जाएगा. Okay. Approach is also study through mental maps. और ह्यूमनिस्टिक भी आएगा. Okay, it's a complete comprehensive answer on what is behavioral geography. Okay, nothing more to add in this. Question number 1. Question number 2 देखते हैं. Discuss the changes over geography to postmodernism. Discuss the changes over geography to postmodernism. What I'm asking is, in postmodernism, what changed in geography? 5 point है. What changed in geography? 5 points. Number 1, geography was anti-positivist. Geography was anti-grand theories. Geography was humanistic and focus on local and cultural uniqueness. In postmodernism, it was more problem solving. In postmodernism, it was more of environmental problems and solution. हाँ, तो the right word, Vasila, right word is behavioralism. Behavioralism जो है, that is behavioral geography and humanistic geography. That's why I'm saying answer में write more about this, but don't ignore this. Okay. Okay. So in postmodernism कब हुआ है? Postmodernism is after 1970s and after 1980s. It is anti-positivist, anti-grand theory. It is more humanistic. Okay, it is inclusive of more local and cultural uniqueness. It is more problem solving. It is more about environmental problems and solutions. Postmodernism is anti-capitalism and is also anti-Marxism. Marxism is another grand theory, you know. The sub problem of the world are because of capitalism. So postmodernism is against both. It's anti-capitalism. It's also anti-Marxism. It says Marxist ideas are very simplifying the reality. हर चीज का problem is capitalism. हर चीज का problem is the class divide. हर चीज का problem is profit. ऐसा थोड़ी होता है. That's why I'm saying in postmodernism, you give a lot of importance to local issues, local problems, local culture, local preferences, local resources के बारे में बात होती है. Is it okay? तो ये जो रिजेक्शन ऑफ ग्रैंड थ्योरी है ना, ग्रैंड थ्योरी का मतलब होता है इट्स आल्सो रिजेक्शन इज कॉल्ड एज इट इज अगेंस्ट ऑल मेटा नरेटिव. It is against all meta narrative. And very importantly, postmodernism में again space is a social construct. Space is a social construct. Postmodernism is about pluralism. Okay. It talks about diversity and differences. Where the differences, diversity, racial diversity, gender diversity, cultural diversity. ये वाला point जो था. Can you all see space as social construct हम कहाँ use कर रहे हैं? Okay, all of you. Absolutely. वत्सला हम वही बताना चाह रहे हैं, जो बता रहे हैं कंसेप्ट्स ना, इस पे शायद स्ट्रेट क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछेगा. ओके, बट ये सब आप यूज कर सकते हो आंसर्स में, डिस्कशंस ऑन पॉवर्टी, डिस्कशंस ऑन इनइक्वालिटी, डिस्कशंस ऑन विमेन इश्यूज, ऑन एग्रीकल्चर इश्यूज, रिसोर्स प्रॉब्लम, हर जगह यूज कर सकते हो. मेटा नरेटिव. सो मेटा नरेटिव basically means a kind of a very generalized theory. Okay, meta means beyond. एक ऐसा statement जो हर चीज को कवर कर लेता है. It's called as a meta narrative. All poverty is because of capitalism. Again, all problems can be solved because of invisible hand. Okay, agriculture is a function of lack of development. Development is equal to urbanization. Yes, Manan, correct. तो एनीथिंग जो एक जनरल, अ वेरी जनरलाइज्ड थ्योरी जो है, इज कॉल्ड एज मेटा नैरेटिव. सो पोस्ट मॉडर्निज्म सेज ये मेटा नैरेटिव गलत होता है. इट्स टू मच ऑफ जनरलाइजेशन. इट इज टू मच ऑफ ignoring all variations. It's too much of ignoring local diversity. That's why I wrote this point, that it is anti-grand theory. It is against all meta-narratives. It focuses more on local, focuses more on cultural uniqueness. Make sense, all of you? Okay. Is this okay, all of you? देखो, what I want is, एक बार ये समझ लेते हो ना, you have to use it. Radical geography. So कैसे यूज करना है? Radical geography, developmental geography, feminist geography, colonial geography, welfare geography, कल्चरल ज्योग्राफी, ये सारे जो हैं ये पोस्ट मॉडर्निज्म है. Even the more modern urban geography. So all of these are post modernisms. Some recent developments हैं. So as a part of conclusion, okay, add these points. You all know about desecularization, right? This is postmodernism. The culture matters, religion matters. Yes, Shivya, absolutely. You must follow those keywords. बट हर क्वेश्चन में यू डोंट नीड प्रोस एंड कॉन्स. So desecularization, study of cultural aspects, cultural regions. Yeah, colonial का मतलब है is anti-colonial, correct. It's not in favor. Colonial geography is not in favor of colonial. It's basically looking at all problems from the perspective of the colonial history. Looking at all inequalities, poverty, exploitation from the perspective of colonial history. उसको बोलते हैं colonial geography. Have I explained this all of you? गोपी कृष्णा, you have raised your hand. Ask me, क्या डाउट है? बोलो. Lalit, I don't think you should go that route. Foundation revision तो करो, but please stop telling yourself कि foundation revision नहीं करेंगे तो आंसर लिख नहीं पाएंगे. Our idea is go and revise foundation. So see, let me explain this to you. देखो, you look at your foundation notes. A concept A, a concept B, a concept C, a concept D, a concept E, a concept F. ठीक है? At this stage, you cannot say कि मैं ऐसा ही पढ़ूंगा. Questions are coming from here. Questions are coming from here. Maybe not from here. Maybe not from here. So ideally, बहुत time है आपके पास. You have got attempts. तो पढ़ो फिर. In that case, start from here and move like this. But what we are doing is, okay, you prepare questions. The questions are about this. The questions are about this. One could be about this. So when you're revising the answer, इस आंसर के लिए, ये जो आंसर के लिए आपको ये पढ़ना पड़ेगा, इसको पढ़ लो. आप जो यहां पर आंसर लिखोगे, ठीक, इस आंसर के लिए आपको ये पढ़ना है, ये पढ़ लो. बट डू नॉट मेक अ मिस्टेक ऑफ कि पहले हम यही पढ़ेंगे, फिर हम ये आएंगे, फिर हम यहाँ आएंगे, देन आई विल कम हियर. फिर तो बेटा यू आर इन ट्रबल. एंड इवन इफ यू आर not qualified prelims, you must study like you are giving your mains. As I'm saying, it is question centric revision. ठीक है? Did I explain, Lalit? Yes, Vatsala. Geography emphasizes on studies of regularity of space elements. Okay. तो ये elaboration में आपको इसको डिबेट करना पड़ेगा. So when I say space regularity, अच्छा, anyway, let's go one by one. ठीक है? अभी सुनो. Is this understood now, all of you? ये समझ में आ गया what is postmodernism? ये समझ में आया? All good? All good? अच्छा, now. So I know you're asking me to explain geosophy, okay, खुशी, but I will drop this because उतना time है नहीं मेरे पास. I think ये बड़ा basic concept है. आप नोट से कर लो या फिर आंसर देख लो. Let me discuss this a bit more. Question number 9. Okay. So what is telling us? Question number 9 tells us. एक minute. Question number 9 says, geography emphasizes the study of regularities in space elements. Geography emphasizes a regularity in space elements.
इसका क्या मतलब है? बेसिकली मीनिंग ये है कि इन स्पेस इन स्पेस देयर इज अ पैटर्न इन फिनोमेना. In space, there is okay, some kind of a rule in what is found where. Because there is a pattern, there is a rule. Okay, there can be generalizations about the study of spatial elements. इस अप्रोच को बोल रहा है that emphasizes regularity. What it means is that the sentence says कि geography जो पढ़ाई है, it is about how everything has some logic. Okay, that there is a pattern, that there is some rule, and therefore we can have generalizations about studying spatial elements. Think of, there is a pattern to winds, there is a pattern to soil types, there is a pattern to climates, there is a pattern to resources, there's a pattern in ocean elements. Make sense? Yeah. So this is what it's telling us कि geography में there is a regularity of spatial elements. So geomorphology, climatology, oceanography, environment geography, there's a pattern in natural disasters, there's a pattern in climate change. The geography emphasizes regularity in spatial elements. Yes, इसी की वजह से absolutely correct, Lalit, very nice. Because there is a pattern, we have quantitative revolution in geography as a spatial science approach. Because there is a pattern, we can use statistical methods. We have location analysis. Because there is a pattern, spatial patterns में हैगर स्टैंड भी आते हैं. क्वेश्चन समझ में आया कि नहीं बताओ. Geography emphasizes the study of regularities in space elements. Yeah. But you don't have to agree on this completely. So when there is a pattern in spatial elements, this is more true for physical geography. But this pattern is not consistent in human geography. Always नहीं होता है. Okay. When human geography includes values, emotions, preferences, culture use कर देता है, तो ये पैटर्न डिसरप्ट हो जाता है. The regularity. That's why postmodern geography criticized geography as a study of irregularity of patterns. Postmodern geography, when space is a social construct, then again there'll be no pattern or no regularity in spatial elements. तो पहला 3/4 ऑफ द आंसर लिखो कि यस देयर इज अ पैटर्न, 1/3 में लिखो कि ऐसा पैटर्न है नहीं, खासकर इन ह्यूमन ज्योग्राफी। नहीं, थैंक यू, कैन टेक दिस, टेक दिस। Did you understand this, all of you? That postmodern geography में the patterns have been rejected. In postmodern geography, there is no regularity of geographical elements. और ये जो आइडिया है ना, स्पेस इज अ सोशल कंस्ट्रक्ट, जो पहले पढ़ा है मैंने, that also is about okay, that there is no regularity in geographical elements. Wow, we have had a good, nice, long session. कुछ सीखा आप लोगों ने, all of you? Whatever insecurities you have about geographical thought, okay, please do not get restless. थर्ड पॉइंट क्या है? थर्ड पॉइंट मैंने लिखा था लोकेशन एनालिसिस। जो क्यूआर इज स्पेशल एनालिसिस, स्पेशल साइंस, लोकेशन एनालिसिस एंड हैगर स्ट्रैंड का मॉडल। यस शिविया, डू दैट प्लीज। नेक्स्ट 2-3 घंटा है, करो। कल भी पढ़ना है, दोबारा पढ़ो। अगर आप फाउंडेशन खत्म करते हो एंड यू आर रेडी फॉर सच कन्वर्सेशंस, आई कैन हैव द कन्वर्सेशंस। पर आपका तो खत्म ही नहीं होता फाउंडेशन। वही सिनॉप्सिस पढ़े हुए जो करना चाहिए 1 साल पहले, अभी भी वही सिनॉप्सिस कर रहे हो, तो पढ़ोगे कब आगे जाकर? और क्वेश्चंस यहां पूछेंगे आपको। There's one more discussion I am holding back. I have discussed the geographical perspective of writing answers on resources. So listen, all of you, just focus on these 10 questions. And the PYQs I have given for tomorrow. इतना ही करो। Yes, exactly यही क्वेश्चन। इशिता, नो सरप्राइज, यही 10 क्वेश्चन में आंसर लिखना है आपको। सो नाउ इट इज ऑलमोस्ट 9 o'clock। 2-3 घंटा जो भी है लिखो बैठ के, एंड टुमारो मॉर्निंग वेक अप एट 5 o'clock, अगेन स्टडी एंड राइट डाउन। नहीं होता है देख के लिखना है, लिखो। कैन यू ऑल कंफर्म that you will be part of the writing process tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock? Yes. बेटा मैं हर बार वही 15-20 बच्चों को देखता हूँ। Okay. I do not know why others are not joining. And please, this method I am also following in GS. Okay. Geography मेरे साथ कर रहे हो, trust me on GS also. आपका GS भी, okay, I will not teach you, but I'll give the regularity to you to do GS also better. तो पीयूष वो प्रैक्टिस से आएगा ना पीयूष, कभी लिखा ही नहीं है। ओके, एग्जाम कंडीशंस में तो कैसे होगा बताओ? ऑल ऑफ यू दोस हु आर राइटिंग फॉर द लास्ट 2 weeks, has your writing gotten any better now after 2 weeks of writing 10 questions every day? 10 questions GS के, 10 questions geography के। कैन सम ऑफ यू टेल योर फ्रेंड्स कि नहीं हमारा ठीक हो रहा है? कैन यू मोटिवेट योर फ्रेंड्स? दैट्स द अप्रोच ऑफ राइटिंग। सो पीयूष, इट टेक्स टाइम। स्पीड भी इंप्रूव होगा, आपका कंसेप्ट बेटर हो जाएंगे, राइटिंग मेथड विल चेंज। ठीक है? सो अभी भी ओके, नॉट ऑल ऑफ यू हैव अटेंडेड, एंड ऑल अटेंडेड में से नॉट एवरीबडी हैज सेड दैट दे विल कम टू द सेशन टुमारो। ठीक है, अल्टीमेटली इट्स योर चॉइस। Yeah, please. Yes. तो वत्सला कुछ रखते हैं होल्ड फॉर द टेस्ट ऑल्सो. लेट मी कीप सम क्वेश्चंस फॉर द टेस्ट ऑल्सो, नो? ओके, टेस्ट के बाद पढ़ना, पहले ये तो कर लो. चलो, ओके देन, बाय बाय ऑल ऑफ यू, गुड नाइट. आई कुड हैव डिस्कस ओनली दिस मच. अब आपका पढ़ाई आप शुरू होगा, करो आप. बाय बाय, थैंक यू. ओके, next class I hope to get Utkarsh, okay, a topper that we have. I'll let you know the timing. He probably will help you in some ways.